I see most people have sat towards the back of the room. You seem to be afraid of the front seats. I'd like to warmly thank the Higher Chapter for organising this very important event. It gives us the time to revisit things, to remember what's happened so far, and to take stock of our prospects from here on. Our organisation, AGEPA, is a special organisation with activation on many levels, and its activities have been, in fact, recognised by the Prime Minister himself, Mr. Theocharis. Okay, we don't want to blow our own horn, but AGEPA is, in fact, an exemplary organisation, and as its mission, it has the support of Hellenism. And we know that Greeks have really been put to the test in the last 10 years with the financial crisis, and then the sanitary crisis, and now we have, in fact, this hike in prices. We have fewer tools at our disposal than other countries, perhaps, but with the initiatives such as this of AGEPA and the initiatives of serious governments such as this, we will be able to make headway. So we are the bridge with the Greeks abroad, and we know from Homer's time, we know that the Greeks have always wanted to return to their homeland, and we've associated this to nostos, this nostalgia for going back to our home. And I think this might create the conditions for the brain gain in order to reverse the scourge of the brain drain. We know our children went abroad, they have gained experience, they've seen what it's about, and now they're coming back, and this is positive. And I think with the various changes, this is one of the reforms of this government that has really been important. It's important not only in terms of our children's gains, but also Greece stands to gain because we are a destination for digital nomads. Perhaps we should find a broader term. From my experience, I see that tourism has, in fact, brought investments from abroad. You know that here in Athens we have Israeli companies that have come and they've invested in hotels in our country. And they advertise our country to Israel or elsewhere, depending on their country of origin. And we see a third wave. People who came for the first time to Athens in order to see these hotels, and they actually stay in Athens because remote working enables this choice. So people can actually live in Athens or Greece for a larger period of time. Let's see if this trend is here to stay. This is a secret for the growth of Greece. Of course, this conference could not but talk about tourism. It goes hand in hand with the type of growth that we have in Greece. But when we have, in fact, this dependence of Greece from tourism, we forget the fact that this, in fact, secondary set of influence or impact, how many synergies are brought about. This is, in fact, really helped our Greek farming product, and we see that these are exports because we have foreigners eating Greek products here in Greece, and there's no formalities attached, there's no custom fees attached, so we see how many synergies can be wrought by this hub, which is tourism. Now, my position with respect to the restart of the Greek economy and the prospects for this is that this has already started. In 2021, we're one of the 2 or 3 European countries where its GDP is going or is at the level of 2019. Who would have imagined this for Greece to be, in fact, at the forefront of recover with this type of recovery that was not seen in other countries? I mean, there were very many reasons for this. Reforms being one, and the type of supports helped reduce unemployment, and that was done throughout the crisis. Now we are at record levels of 12.8%, according to figures announced the day before yesterday, and we see that there's a structural change because the drop of unemployment in youth and children is a lot faster than in men, and that's something that didn't happen traditionally. Harris Lavropoulos talked before about investments. We know that investments have always been a problem for Greece. We always had this investment gap, which was 10% of the GDP compared to the EU average. We are the country that has managed to narrow down that investment gap more than any other EU country. So we have speedily reduced unemployment. We have caught up in terms of investment. So we see that the measures that were taken to support the economy, and of course tourism, a sector of the economy that I cannot but love because, you know, in the last 2 years I was really working long and hard in order to support it, and indeed we have brought it to a level which is in fact amongst the top players in the world. Our country is really up there. It's the first time it finds itself amongst this top list. We've always been a country which is elite. We were never, however, at the point that we find ourselves today. How did we actually achieve this? I think it's worth looking at because, as I said before, the restart has already commenced, and we hope that we will, in fact, forge ahead in this. We actually had relations of trust. TUI, airlines, Fraport, Athens International Airport, international cruising companies. Speak to them all. Speak with all travel agents and tour operators. Our country has forged relations of trust with them. When the other countries did not permit to any boats to actually moor from the cruise ships, our country allowed them to moor, to actually refuel, and to be able then to see and we are in fact a shipping nation, and we know what it means to be in fact a seaman in this difficult period. We supported the airlines with a promotional program that took into account the people that were brought to our country. It had to be done with rules and transparency, and that means that there was absolutely no problem. And indeed, our relationship has, in fact, been amongst the best. Now, cruise companies, all the protocols for cruise lines were, in fact, created in Greece, and these were, in fact, put to the test here and disseminated throughout the world where they are observed. And indeed, the most important is that we actually created protocols, and we did not change them on a day-to-day basis. There were pressures, that things really changed. It was very difficult to have this balance in terms of sanitary conditions and tourism. But we actually said what we do, and we implemented it. On the 9th of March, our country went out and said that it was going to open on the 9th of May. And the day after, there's, in fact, 3 articles that said that we don't know when the hairdressers will open. But we managed to do it. When the Prime Minister had, in fact, at one point mistakenly said 15th of May, and everybody started putting questions, we actually did not move the date even by one day. We said 14, and we upheld our pledge. I would like to remind you that the British were trying to find tickets for France because the instructions changed overnight, and at that point the cost of a ticket was £1,100 because they did not know how to schedule their trips. So our country has built trust, and that is why our tourism will remain at this high point that it is now. And it will do so for years to come. Of course, there are challenges, and that's why we need to move ahead. That means that we have to handle the challenges in the long term. We obviously have short-term initiatives. These have to do with the high cost of things. But obviously, when there is, in fact, the available income, there's demand, but we don't have the services or offerings to deliver, or the products are not there because the machinery of the global economy is not, in fact, working to deliver, then we have inflation, which is a global crisis. But I must say that we need to have the best possible investment of the capital that will come to Greece, the sustainability of investments, the best coexistence with the environment, the major transition which has to be undertaken by the economy. This will happen in the next few years to bring about a greener model, a more digital economy. Professor Gikas Kardovoulis showed us a slide about the digitalization of the services. I don't know if you noted it. I think it was very interesting, and I spoke to him after he came down off the podium. 2011-2015, the gap of internet access of our country with Europe went from 17 to 11 points. Well, from 11 to 20. So that means that throughout the crisis, there was a lot of work done. We paved the way in those tough years. Do you remember when we had to have all the digital tax returns in the General Secretariat of Information Systems? And we see that these are, in fact, the conditions that have paved the way and will help launch our country even higher. I think I was a bit long-winded, so I'd like to close here. I am unreservedly optimistic about 2022. It's going to be a milestone in terms of development. And development and growth, rather, is going to be close to 9%. I think that this will be in fact, something that will continue. This growth rates positively influences ever more members of our country and of citizens of our country, that is. And I told you that there was the greatest reduction of unemployment amongst young people and women. So we see more and more of the households are, in fact, are going to be benefiting. So I'm even more certain that with the initiatives such as this and with the tireless work of the government, the prospects of our country and economy are going to be very important indeed. Thank you very much for your attention.